Symbiotic relationships are any relationship between two organisms that lasts for any period of time. And here's a table to kind of show you the three different kinds of symbiotic relationships and what they mean. So if you follow the table, you have the row meet the column. You can see that if there's a positive effect on both organisms, so you've got positive and positive, that kind of relationship is called mutualism. If you have a positive effect on one organism and no effect on the other, that relationship is called commensalism. If you have a positive effect on one organism and a negative effect on the other, that relationship is called parasitism. And finally, if you have a negative effect on both organisms, that relationship is called competition. And there are a few there that have really no relationship. If you have no effect on either, obviously there's no relationship. And there's really no point in nature where you have a negative effect on one and no effect on the other. But let's go through and look at each of those types of symbiotic relationships. The first one we have is parasitism. Parasitism is a relationship in which one organism benefits and the other is harmed. The example that's given is a parasite that enters a snail, and it affects the brain of the snail and kind of controls it and tells it to go out into the open, where it's easily seen and it can be eaten by a bird, and then the parasite lives inside the bird and is spread by the bird's waste. And if you want to watch that a video about that type of parasite, you can click on this link. The second kind of relationship is commensalism. This is a relationship in which one organism benefits and the other is not affected. An example would be barnacles that attach themselves to whales so they can ride with them and get food. The barnacles get the benefit of being able to get food and move around, and the whales really aren't affected by the barnacles negatively or positively. And if you want to watch that video, you can click on this link. And then the last relationship, the second to last relationship is mutualism. This is a relationship in which both organisms benefit. An example are the type of bird called oxpeckers and egrets. They're similar birds, and they eat insects off the back of grazing herbivores. And so they sit on top of the herbivore, whether it's a rhinoceros or sometimes an ox, and they eat the insects that would lay their eggs on the fur of the herbivore. If you want to watch a video about that, you can click on this link. The last relationship is called competition. This is a relationship in which neither organism benefits. And competition is one you're probably familiar with. It's something like when two organisms both consume the same type of prey. Neither of them benefits from this relationship because neither of them can get enough to eat because they're competing for it. So that's competition.